everyone, Fed here, and welcome back to another how to build a video. And in today's video, I'm going to show you guys how to build an auto honeycomb farm and an auto honey farm. Now, these guys been hard at work. Since I've set these up for this tutorial, these guys have made quite the amount of honeycomb and honey. So if I come right back over here, look at all this honeycomb. I think this is about, I don't know, probably like an hour and 10 minutes since I've been setting this up to do this tutorial. And these guys, oh man, look at all those honey blocks just begging to be made. So like I said, that was just about an hour and 10, hour and 20 minutes. Now I do have always day on, so I guess it would vary if it was nighttime. Now, I'm not really going to go over the redstone in the honeycomb farm. This thing is extremely simple to build. It's the honey farm that really matters. Now, this thing works best if you're facing north or west. You can build it in any direction, it doesn't matter, but it works best from north to west. If you build it south or east, then you're gonna have to just add a few little extra blocks in the front so the bottles don't spit out everywhere. Now, I went with this design right here. Now, I know you could just put a beehive down, have a comparator into it, and put 5 pieces of redstone going into your dispenser. I know you could do that. I know some people are already going, there's an easier way to do this. I absolutely know that. Now, the reason why I set it up like this is because I didn't like that you had to fill the dispenser with like 800 glass bottles. You had to fill your entire dispenser with glass bottles, and that could be a lot of glass. You got to think, a stack of glass bottles is a stack of glass, and you could fill 9 spots, so that's 64 times 9. That's a lot of glass. You're gonna have to destroy an entire desert to keep that thing going. This just uses 1 glass bottle every time it fills up with honey. Now, the glass bottles are actually up here inside of these hoppers, and as you can see, I just have a total of 64 in here, and then I just have chest above it to fill it up with even more glass bottles in case I don't feel like looking at it. But it only uses 1 glass bottle at a time because these guys don't really make honey that fast. Like I said, this was going for like an hour and 20 minutes, and that's all. I mean, that's a lot. That, don't get me wrong, that's a lot, but that's nowhere near, you know, a ton of glass bottles. You don't need 1,000 glass bottles in your dispenser to fill up this thing. So guys, let's get started on these tutorials. So let's start off by building that auto honeycomb farm, because that thing's going to be super quick and easy to build. The resources you're going to need for this is at least 2 tripwire hooks. You know, just get a couple of pieces of string out. I'm sure you have some laying around somewhere in your world. And I'm going to make mine 5 blocks long. You can go way further than that. This was only 5. I made all this honey from just 5 of these things, and I made all this honeycomb over here, like, there we go, with just 5 of them. But I am giving you guys a heads up. I did build this in my friend's survival world. I built a huge one a little while ago, and do not, I repeat, do not have too many bees on one chunk. I ended up making a really big one. There was too many bees, and it ended up freezing the chunk. Like, you could walk in the chunk, but everything was like doing this weird walking motion, and they didn't do anything. So heads up, do not build this thing gigantic. If you want a ton of them, make sure you spread them out in like, you know, a good chunk size. Just make sure you put one in one chunk, do another one in another chunk if you need a ton of honey, but do not, I repeat, do not make too many or you will freeze your chunk. So let's just quickly get started up on this auto honeycomb farm. Now, you can use bee nests or beehives, it doesn't matter. Now, I'm just going to make mine 5 blocks long. If you want to make it bigger, go right ahead. It's completely up to you. And then right behind your beehives or bee nests, you're going to go ahead and place in dispensers facing towards them. So make sure that dispenser is facing towards the beehive, and do that for every single one like that. Next up, you're going to go inside of your dispensers and just place in shears. Now, you'll never have to look at this again because the shears do not get wasted when they harvest honeycomb, which is amazing. You'll never, ever have to go back inside this dispenser ever again. And did I miss one? Oh, I just didn't do 5. I did 4. So I'm just going to go ahead and quickly place another dispenser and beehive. Let me go and place in my shears right here. Next up, come my block out from your beehives, and then just come up a block and over one like that. Make sure you are 1 block out from your beehive. Do the same thing on this side. Just come out 1 block from your beehive and up. And this is where we're going to place in our trip wire hooks. As you can see, it's just 1 block away from it. Next up, take out your string and just place your string going right along in front of your beehives. And that's pretty much how everything works. I mean, when I hit this, they'll activate the tripwire hooks, thus activating our dispensers back here. popping out our honeycombs. So now all we have to do is just hook up redstone to this line. Now, I like to just hook them both together. It really doesn't matter. But I mean, the longer you make this thing, now string can go up 40 blocks. You can go up to 40 blocks with this thing. Like I said, do not make too many bees. Do not make too many bees, but you can go up to 40 blocks with that thing. And then, you know, just place in your redstone. So now all we have to do is just take out some redstone. So all we have to do is just take out some redstone and then just place that redstone going along the lines of your tripwire hook. So now when I hit the tripwire hooks, it will activate the redstone. And then the redstone will hit this block, activating these dispensers down here. Now we have to make sure we fill up around these dispensers because we don't want those honeycombs shooting out the backside. So come out 1 block from your dispensers and then come out another block from your dispensers like this. And then just fill it in with your blocks of choice. So I'm just going to fill in this whole area with my blocks of choice. This is just so those honeycombs don't go shooting out the sides. And then we're also going to place 1 more line of blocks right above in front of our redstone like that. Now, this next part is completely up to you. This is just to collect the honeycombs. You can go, you know, with a minecart with a hopper, just have a line of hoppers going into a chest. But my favorite one is, if you're making it this big right here, it's just to dig down 1 more block, place a bucket of water on this side. The water will go all the way down this way. And then what we're going to do is on this last block right here, we're going to go ahead and just place in a hopper facing towards that block right there. So all the items will funnel down here, go through the water, and into this hopper right here. Now on the other side, all we're going to do is just put in a chest. Now if you are going to do the exact same thing I'm doing, then make sure this block right here is an invisible block. Well, it's just a block that can't block the chest from opening up. We want our chest to always open up, and then we're just going to dig down right here next to it, and then just place a double wide chest right here. So boom, boom, and as you see, I can open up my chest. And now when an item goes into that water, it'll funnel to the hopper and then funnel right inside of our chest. Next up, take out some blocks. You do not have to use glass right here, and just place it right in front of it. And guys, that's it. You are completely done. Now, I do recommend to encase them. If you don't want to encase your bees, you do not have to, but I'm just giving you a heads up now. You get more stuff when you encase the bees. You won't get like a crazy amount more, but you will like lose out on maybe a half a stack, or maybe lose out on 16 honey. So I do recommend, you know, filling in this entire area. Next up, all we have to do is just make sure, you know, there's some flowers in front of it for our bees. So I'm just gonna go, let's go 5 lines of flowers. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, because you can fit 3 bees to each beehive, so you can have 15 bees inside this thing. Now, like I said, you don't have to encase it. You will lose out on some resources, so I'm quickly going to go ahead and just encase my entire thing. So I'll be right back after I encase this thing. Alright guys, and I'm back, and I quickly went ahead and just encased up the entire thing. Now all you have to do is just get some bees in here. Now the really good thing about bees is you can breed them fast. You can breed these guys really fast. Like I said, when I was in my friend's survival world making a really big one, I was breeding those things like crazy, made way too many, and it ended up breaking the entire chunk. But we're just going to go ahead and throw in some bees now. You can fit up to 3 bees per beehive. So 1, 2, 3, let's just put 4, 5, and 6. I'm just gonna put 6 bees in there, and we're gonna let them work on that. And let's see actually how many honeycombs we can get before I finish this tutorial over here. But there you guys have it. That's the entire auto honeycomb farm. So here are the resources you need to build the auto honey farm. So right here are all your resources. Now this is just for 1 tile, because this thing is tileable. As you can see, you could fit 1 right next to each other, and you can make it go as long as you want. Again, don't put too many, or the bees. Too many bees will lag your chunk. But right here is just for 1 tile. Now if you want to do 5 tiles, then you're gonna have to times all these resources by 5. Now these ones right here are just my building blocks, so you don't really need to double these. You know, you just need dirt or cobblestone, just blocks you can build with easily. And if you want to make it look really nice, you know, you can use the same blocks I'm using. And of course with the glass bottles too, you don't need this many glass bottles, but it's nice to have a good amount for this build. And now I just want to bring this up one more time in case you forgot. This thing works best from north to west. It will work the same, do the same amount of resources, you know, south or east, but with south and east you just have to add in 2 little blocks in front of the beehive, so when the honey comes out of it, it doesn't spit out of it and go flying. I mean, it goes pretty far in the other directions, but if you're going to build this thing and you have enough room, I recommend just building it north or west, and you'll be absolutely fine. So to get started up on this build, I'm going to go ahead and quickly just change out this block, and right on top of it, we're going to place a redstone torch. Now going into this block with a redstone torch, we have to place in an observer block. So just break this block behind it, and place in your observer block facing towards it. It should tick that torch, and that little arrow on top of the observer block should be facing towards the torch. Then right behind the observer block, we're going to come out 3 blocks. 1, 2, 3. Now going into the observer block, we're going to place a repeater, and we're going to set that repeater to 4 ticks delay. Next up, come out 2 pieces of redstone. 1, 2. And then we're going to come up a piece of redstone right here. So I'm going to go ahead and switch out the block real quick. Then right above this redstone, we're going to place in a glass block with another piece of redstone. Next up, we're going to come out 2 blocks from here, and we're going to hide up this repeater in that redstone right there. So 1, 2. And then on this one, we're going to place a redstone comparator going towards that redstone. So take out your redstone comparators and place a redstone comparator going towards the redstone with another piece of redstone in front of it. Next up, place up 2 blocks from this observer block. You will be able to see them, so just keep that in mind. So 1, 2. And then right on top of this redstone torch is where our beehive is going to be going. So take out your beehive and then just place that right on top of this redstone torch. Next up, right above the beehive, we have to place a dispenser facing down. So just come up a block, take out your dispensers, and make sure your dispenser is facing down into that beehive. So you shouldn't see a hole anywhere on this thing because it should be going down into the beehive. Next up, come back over here to the backhand side, take out a glass block and place it right above this redstone with a piece of redstone. Come out a block with yet again another piece of redstone, and then up a block with another piece of redstone, because if you didn't know, when a beehive has honey in it, it will activate 5 lines of redstone out of comparator. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we're going to place in a sticky piston facing towards our dispenser with an observer block in front of it. Next up, come out 2 blocks from that observer block. 1, 2. Break this block and place a redstone torch coming off the backhand side of it towards our dispenser. Then we're going to place a block up right next to our dispenser with a repeater coming out of that redstone torch, set it to 1 tick delay. Next up, we're going to take out our hopper, and we're just going to place our hopper going into this dispenser, go inside our hopper, and place our glass bottles. And guys, that's it. You're completely done. Now, I have a beehive right here that has honey in it at all times, so I'm going to go ahead and quickly take this out just to show you that everything is working. So let's get rid of this beehive first. So I'm going to place in my beehive with the honey. Boop. And it will spit out the honey bottle. There we go. See, the honey bottle came out. So I'll do it one more time. Put my beehive in, has honey in it, and it will spit out the honey bottle. Now, to make sure your honey comes out of the front, we just have to place in some blocks next to it. So I'm going to get rid of this beehive real quick because I can hear some bees inside of it, and I don't want that. So we're just going to come up some blocks right here, and we're going to come up some blocks right here just to make sure that our honey always comes out the front hand side of it. So blocks there. Blocks right here. So now when I place in this beehive, my honey bottle will always come out the front hand side. And there you guys have it. It is that easy. So I'll just build it one more time real fast, and then I'll tile it up to 5 like I said I was going to do. So just go right here, place in your redstone torch, dig out 4 blocks, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then going into the block that has our redstone torch, we're going to place in an observer block. So there we go. The torch ticks. Place a repeater going into that observer block and set it to 4 ticks delay. Place in 3 pieces of redstone. 1, 2, 3. Place a glass block above it. Glass block above it. Redstone. You could just follow right along with the other one, so you really don't need to watch this, but I just thought I'd do it one more time just to make sure you guys know. Bring the blocks up. It's the same exact thing for each one, and nothing changes. So redstone here, redstone here, redstone here. Then we're going to take out our sticky piston, face it inwards, take out our observer block, place a block right here, take out a redstone torch, make sure that repeater is coming out of the redstone torch. Next up, take out your dispensers, place a dispenser facing down with a hopper going into the top of it, and then, just fill it up with glass bottles. So I'm just going to take half of these and put it inside this one. There we go. And now we can quickly go ahead and just test it. So there is my hive with the honey, and the bottle will come out of it. And of course, we need to have blocks on the side just to make sure that the honey always comes out the front. And I almost forgot the modification for in case you have to build it east or if you have to build it south. Like I said, just build it north or west if you don't want to change anything. But this is the only thing you need to do if you build it east or south. You don't have to do this if you built it north or west. So, just come out from this hopper, 1, 2, and then down 2 blocks like this. Because when you build it east or south, the bottles literally just shoot out. They go like all the way over here those ways. So as long as you have just blocks in front of it to stop it from like shooting all the way out, then it'll work absolutely fine. And you know, the bees will just come out from under here and go into the beehive and then go back in. But you don't need these blocks if you build it north or west. All right, guys, and I'm back, and I just quickly went ahead and tiled it. So just to show you that all of them are working, put the beehive in with the honey. The bottle pops out, beehive with the honey, beehive with the honey, beehive with the honey, and all the honey bottles will pop out. And of course, we need to just put in some blocks along that side so the honey always comes out the front. So, you know, just to make sure that honey always comes out the front, we're just going to place in a line of blocks right here. So now we can go ahead and set up our collection. So I'm just going to go with the same one I did with the honeycombs. I'm just going to dig out these blocks, place in some water here. It will flow down here. Next up, I'm going to take out my hopper, break this block, make sure the hopper is going into that block right there. And then I'm just going to place in my 2 chests right here, and then make sure it's a block so you can open up your chest right there. So now all my items will funnel into the water down into my chest. And look at all those extra beehives. I didn't even notice all those beehives there, probably because when I was breaking them and putting them back. But we're going to go ahead and just clean up this area like that. Now, you don't have to encase it if you don't want to, but I'm just going to go ahead and quickly place in some flowers, and then I'm going to encase this entire thing and add some bees to it. All right, guys, and I'm back, and you see I just fully encased this thing, put a couple of flowers in there, and now the bees will go into the hive, generate the honey, and then spit it out. Now, if you want to add in just a couple more glass bottles right on top of it, all you do is just place in some chests while in crouch right above those hoppers, and then, you know, just fill up the chest with as many glass bottles as you want. But the great thing about this one is you don't have to put a million glass bottles in this thing. So I want to just check out before I end this tutorial if these guys made any honeycomb. And there you guys have it. We have 24 honeycomb from the time I made this one to the time I made that one. And actually, I wonder how much are in this one now. Let's see. Oh, look at all that honey. How much honeycombs are in here? Holy cow. So these guys have been hard at work while I was doing the tutorial as well. But there you guys have it. That's how you build some simple auto honeycomb and auto honey farms. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe. And if you're already subscribed, make sure to hit the bell because I'm uploading like crazy. I'm crazy. I just keep uploading. I probably should calm down a little bit with the uploading, but I've been having so much fun on Minecraft. I just can't stop. All right, guys. Peace.